All right, so she's a 30-year veteran in the industry. She's built businesses, mega businesses in over 30 countries. She's been a seven-figure a year earner. She's been at the top of more than one pay plan. She's been featured in 5 business books. I mean, this girl, if I told you everything that she did, we would use up all of her time to speak. That's how long her resume is. But this is, I've wanted to work with Debra since the old days. We worked together in the 90s in our previous company, and I've always wanted to work with her again. It's so special to take some of your best friends in the business and actually get to have that run to the top with them. So I'm super proud to introduce Debra Gebhardt. Debra?
Thank you so much for that, Tim. And, it's really an honor to be here. It's great to work with you and to be a small part of such an amazing team. And it's an honor to be able to share with everyone this evening. So I think it's fair to say that I never dreamed that I would grow up and I would be in network marketing. But like a lot of you, I was conditioned to believe that if I had a really good attitude, if I got a good education, and if I worked really hard, that I could accomplish my dreams and goals and, have the lifestyle that I really wanted and I dreamed of. Well, at the time, I was heading up a seizure unit for children in Miami, and I was working, I'd say, about 60 hours a week. I also had another per diem job, and I was on call 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. So with that, I can tell you, it didn't take me very long to figure out that there was no way that I would have the hours or the time to ever accomplish the dreams that I had. So basically what I was conditioned, like so many of us, was really an illusion to think that it would work that way. So as luck would have it, at the time, I was introduced to a business opportunity very similar to what a lot of you are listening to tonight, but it was in a hotel room. And at that meeting, I was listening to people that of all different backgrounds. They were different backgrounds, they were different ages. Some came from professional backgrounds and some medical. And the one thing that really started intriguing me is I was hearing them talking about this business that at the time was really considered out of the box, that didn't take very much to start up. For a couple of $100, you could be in business for yourself, but not by yourself. And they were talking and saying things like your overhead was something that you could eat. So you either could get healthy or feel good and look good at the same time. That was what the overhead was in the business. And that you could fail 90% of the time and that you could still be incredibly successful. So I didn't get it. I wasn't in business before, so I really didn't understand how they were doing it, how I would do it, and what that all meant. But what I really did get very clearly, based on what I was already doing, is that there was no way, if I continued on my current track, that I was ever going to accomplish and get even a half of what I ever dreamed and wanted out of my life. So I was really fortunate that that day I said yes. And I had no idea at that time how and in what ways my life was going to change. But I'll just share one memory with you from that time period. And, that is that after 4 years of putting in effort and working in that business, which I started part-time, I walked out on stage one day after 4 years in front of over 25,000 people. And I smashed my alarm clock with a hammer, literally. And so as you can imagine, that was really a lot of great fun. But it didn't really hit me until that moment that I actually did that in front of those people, because that moment to me signified that I was no longer controlled by outside forces, that my life was controlled by me. My time was controlled by me. And I wasn't anything special. I knew that what I did, absolutely anybody could do, and that many people had done it, which is how I got the idea that why couldn't I do it? So it really became my mission at that point to really try to get that word out and to work with as many other people as I could to help them to realize that there's another way and that they too could have anything that they really dreamed and wanted if they were willing to put in the time and the effort. So, after that point, I took a little bit of time. I semi-retired, as Tim did. And I did other things that were really important in my life. It afforded me the time to do things that really matter. And so I learned to play tennis and, play tennis at a high level and built another company, retired from that. Then I got married, and part of that was two stepchildren, two beautiful stepchildren, which has really been amazing for me. But the one thing that over the past year, I really started to recognize, and it started becoming more and more clear to me, that I really was missing the energy and the challenge of growing something from small to big, and working with other people like Tim, like Ian, like Brandy, like other people that you've met and you've heard from tonight that are interested in having something more. They're positive people and they want to get something more out of life, but they know and they're willing to help lift other people too. They don't want to step on other people to get there like traditional business. So that kind of brings me to Tim's question, why Xelliss? And, this past year, as I think about it, has been it's been challenging for everybody. We've all had things to navigate through and to kind of have to figure out. But the one thing that was crystal clear for me is that the company that I would align with had to be a high purpose company. And what I mean by that is I mean that it was a company that I would call high moral intelligence, in that it isn't just about profits. Profits are important, as they are in any company, obviously. But what mattered to me was that people were going to be first. They were going to put people over profits, and we would build people together. That would help to build a company. So it was about the integrity. It was about knowing that the people behind us were going to have our back, that they were going to be honest people, and that we were going to be able to come in, build a business with a level playing field, that everybody would come in regardless. Even though we've had some years of experience, we still come in at the very same place that somebody starts out in the company for the very first time. So it's level. And knowing that they're going to be there for the long term, that they're going to see this company through. So as we build, that residual income never ends. We get to get paid on it over and over and over again for the rest of our lives. That, to me, after this past year, was a deal breaker. There was nothing that was going to, nothing else could take that place. That was a priority. And so, as Tim said, it was really great when we reconnected again, and he's the one who introduced me to Xelliss, because had it not been Tim, I might have thought about it a little harder. It might not have been so easy, but for me, I already knew Tim had tremendous integrity. He was a friend. I'd worked with him in the past. I saw how he worked. I knew his ethic. I knew he was a man of his word, and I trusted him. I knew he'd been successful in many businesses. So when he told me and shared what Xelliss was all about, I was intrigued, and I definitely wanted to know more.